Next, joining me on stage, Ella and Kevin. We are going to talk about, whoops, if I don't knock over the table, have a conversation about the evolving world of fintech in the airline world. So thank you, Ella. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Great. We're here to talk about fintech ancillaries, not always a topic that you think of for airlines, a la carte flexibility for modern travelers. So it would start, Ella and Kevin, just briefly introduce yourselves, and then I've got some questions for you.
Okay, so I'm Kevin Strohmaier. I'm the managing director for Air Canada's Canadian domestic and transborder and Americas routes. And then I have an ancillary portfolio on the side.
Okay.
I'm Ella. I'm leading fintech on Hopper and HTS, working with airlines on offering fintech ancillaries on their direct channels.
And HTS is?
Yes, so HTS is basically Hopper's B2B division. I'd say that there are two main parts for that business. The first part is where we power end-to-end travel portals for some of the world's largest banks. And then the second part is where we power fintech ancillaries directly on airlines channels. So this is the partnership we do with Air Canada. We basically offer fintech on aircanada.com.
And Ella, you've got a lot of different products, and they offer a lot of different benefits. So maybe take us through some of those?
Yeah, so what really sets us apart is the fintech ancillaries, and the gist of it is that we increase customer satisfaction, but making trip planning and taking easier with new value prop as an add-on, as an ancillary, while also increasing ancillary revenue for airlines. I think one of our most profitable and popular product is cancel for any reason. This is also what we partner Air Canada with. And what this product is like cancel for any reason as an add-on on aircanada.com. So for those who selected non-refundable fares, we offer that ancillary. And those who add that enjoy full refundability for their trip. So when the customer comes to cancel, they can get an instant refund to the original form of payment, fully powered by us and seamless, while the airline still keeps the original ticket cost. And because we're connected to the PSS, we can update the PNR for the airline, so the airline can resell the liberated seat. So we had this really successful partnership, and it works very well, and it's win-win. So the customer is happy, so it increases their satisfaction. The airline gets ancillary revenue, and they make additional profit from reselling the seat. They basically sell the same seat twice.
That's pretty yeah, that's pretty great. I mean, sell a seat twice and have people be happy about it.
Yes.
Kevin, when we were preparing for this session, you described the cancel for any reason product as a customer experience benefit, which I thought was really, really novel. Not just an ancillary revenue product, but a customer experience benefit. Why?
So in the last year, we've tried to focus on our operation a bit more, putting tools for our customer experience team. And as a revenue management person, we've always been shy about selling refundability. It kind of goes against the tariffs. This was a perfect blend for us. Our customer agents often had friction with basic brands and no changes. And this puts the tool in front of the customer to be able to purchase refundability up front. And at the same time, it's something that our customers really like, and our frontline staff is able to measure that, and they can see an improvement in how our customers interact with them.
What have you learned from using cancel for any reason?
Sorry?
What have you learned from the use of it? At Air Canada, how has it helped the airline? How do your passengers react to it?
Well, fundamentally coming out of COVID, we learned that our customers really valued refundability, but in the way that our branded fares were constructed, refundability was at the very end of the tiers. So what we were able to take from that is, first of all, selling refundability wasn't as much of a risk as we thought it was. Customers don't abuse it that much. And the other thing is they cancel very early in the process. So we get customers canceling about 20 days before departure, which gives us a very long time that we can resell the seat. We honestly thought that that would be much closer to departure and there would be more spoilage of empty seats.
Is there anything that you learned that took you by surprise?
Mostly the attachment rate. It attaches at about 7%, which was much stronger than a lot of the ancillaries we had on the side. And then the canceling before departure. That was the primary one. We thought customers would sit on the inventory. I mean, revenue management's jaded about customer behavior to start with. We really thought customers would sit and hedge their bets, but seeing them get rid of the inventory early was a big surprise for us.
Okay, so did you had this idea, you meet with HTS, they talked to you about cancel for any reason. What was the conversation like with revenue management on this? Did they see it as a benefit, or were they worried about it, or?
So Air Canada is a bit unique because I have my hands in both sides. I'm trying to push ancillary products on my peers and get them to adopt them. So for me, it's a bit easier because they know I come from the side of being jaded to start with. But frankly, HTS was a pleasure to work with. It was a quick implementation. There were a lot of guardrails in case things went sideways to make sure that we could fall back or pivot a bit on pricing. And that made it much easier for the team knowing that we had a good partner.
Now, something that's on the slide here that's interesting, 98% self-serve resolution. I mean, that's what you want, right? You don't want people having to call. So, they were able to manage this through the app or the website, I take it, correct?
Yeah, and that's not just a steady run rate. We've been through potential strikes with our competitors. We've been through potential work stoppages with our own airline. And in all those cases, we haven't had customers phoning us saying they can't get through or they're having problems. So the 98% is a really strong number, and it's leveled through all different situations, rainstorms, blue skies, all the events.
It kicked in during the CrowdStrike outage, right, too?
Yeah, we were a bit insulated at Air Canada from that, one of the few airlines that was, but it kicked in a lot during potential work stoppages. Our customers took advantage of it to hedge their bets, and it worked out as a win-win for both of us.
Okay. Ella, the partnership with Air Canada is clearly something that is a point of pride at HTS. You've got cancel for any reason. Are there any other products that you offer or are planning to bring to market anytime soon?
Yes, so another very popular and profitable product is our disruption assistance ancillary, which we also offer for airline as a partnership. And this product is very complementary to travel insurance and flexibility. So this product kicks in 24 hours before the travel starts, before the departure. And what it does for those who add that ancillary is that on the day of departure, if your flight is delayed by more than 2 hours or being canceled for any reason, we would proactively reach out to the traveler and we offer them either rebooking on any flight available, same day or next, or if they prefer to keep their trip, we would give them 100% refund for their entire trip cost. Now, this is important to emphasize. This is not 100% of that disrupted portion of the trip. It's the entire trip cost. And what I like the most about this product and why I think it works so well is that it turns stressful moments into loyalty building ones for airlines. So when things go well, right? You go to the airport, you check in, you get on the flight, you go to your destination. It's those moments when things don't go as planned that become very stressful at the airport. And this is exactly the opportunity for airlines to shine by going above and beyond and turn that into a brand loyalty building moment. And this is what we see with disruption. And you mentioned CrowdStrike, of course, that this was like top of mind during those times, and we were able to deliver at scale and see really, really good customer sentiment during those times.
Kevin, are there any other ways where you see airlines using fintech products as ancillaries to enhance the customer experience?
Some of the ones that Ella mentioned, disruption's a big one, price freeze is one that we're looking at as well. We originally saw ancillaries as fintech as a guarantee, something you would do to promise your customers something like the bag would arrive on the belt within 30 minutes, and if not, you would reward them for something. But increasingly, as an airline, we're moving away from those product guarantees and more to customer solution where we can help our agents and our frontline staff actually solving customer problems.
And what was the reaction of your colleagues to this?
It's interesting. We're actually in the room now with our frontline staff looking at other products we can do. They really like it. They like the fact that when customers need service, that they're being handled. There's more tools for customers that prevent them from ending up in a situation where agents have to say no to them. So it's been really beneficial for both sides.
Yeah. I would say that a really interesting learning from this partnership that I really like is how customers are associating the goodness of the product with the airline. So every time we serve a customer, we would send a customer satisfaction survey to guarantee the fulfillment level that we want and to make sure that we're not missing something. And what I like the most is that customers are saying, this is the most airline-friendly policy. They're not saying this is HTS is awesome. They're saying like this is one of the most airline-friendly policies they associated with Air Canada, and for me, this is the greatest success.
And it also sounds, from what we were talking about, passengers don't feel like they're being nickeled and dimed. They don't see this as an annoyance. No. They see it as something positive.
They see it way less as a tariff breaker and more like trip insurance, as something that is eligible for them to take a bit more control of their voyage, as opposed to something that we took away from them and we're being asked to pay more, which is what we typically do as an airline. We unbundle, we don't rebundle, and this is very much seen by customers as an opportunity, as opposed to something that's forced on them.
Okay. Ella, where are these products available? What countries are these products?
Yeah, so we sell billions of travel and fintech for travel all across the world. We sell in 172 countries. We're available in all languages with partnerships in North America, in Asia, like really in every continent, outside of Antarctica, I would say. So this is top of mind for everyone. This is a global demand, right? Flexibility is top of mind. Disruption is in the news and is very big concern for travelers when they take the trip. And we do see global demand for those products, and we're extending. So this year we launched 8 new partnerships. Next year we're going to see a handful of partnerships in Europe and in North America, especially around disruption. I'm very excited to see that.
And once you get through the contract phase, how long does it take to get this live?
So we move very quickly, right? I'd say that since contracting, it's 3 months and you have it live. We're available on all PSSs. We're very flexible. It's a lightweight integration for the partner. We take all the heavy lifting. And this is not hypothetical. We're already in production on all PSSs with airlines, so we know exactly how to guide the airline to do it. I would say that normally contracting takes longer than the implementation, so what we do is in parallel we start contracting and implementation because the implementation is so lightweight.
Kevin, did you do any testing of this before you did a full-on launch, or did you just go like, let's get it done and launch full-on live?
As soon as we had the contracting done, we tried to move quickly. But we had great teams on both sides that were reviewing data along the way and making adjustments and making sure that we were within the parameters we set. And we quickly saw good results, and we continue to iterate with HTS about potentials in the future, including integrating it into our bundles and brands, which is a really exciting development that we're looking at in the next few months.
And if it were possible, would you sell this through indirect channels if that's...
Yeah, if it was possible, we've talked about it. It's a bit more difficult in terms of what happens on the back-end side, but yeah, we would be open to it.
Okay. Where else do you see Fintech Ancillaries going at Air Canada?
I would say right now we're really focused on making this ancillary spread more across the organization. We've talked about including it in upsells post-after booking, even after the initial customer purchase. We're really focused on operationalizing that before we move down into any new ones.
Okay. And Ella, you were sharing with me, HTS is actually growing like weeds within the Hopper organization.
Yes.
Is it the larger half of the two halves between the Hopper OTA that maybe people are more familiar with than HTS? Or?
Yes, yes. So while we have a very successful app business, mainly in North America, 120 million installs to date, HTS very quickly became 2/3 of the entire Hopper business, and we see that growing even farther from that. While we do have what I mentioned, the travel portals and the Fintech Ancillaries available for partners, we also open new things like stays, checkout. The deeper we work with partners, we learn more about their needs and what they want to tackle next, and we develop products together. So this is only the start, and it's already very successful. Yes.
Fintech is very broad. It's not payments, right? So
yes.
I think it's important to keep that in mind, right?
Yeah, so I mean, payments is a big part of fintech, and we also touched that a little bit. But for us, fintech is really risk-based pricing products, new value prop, and it's important to mention, like, there's a lot of liability and risk into each product that we power, and that's what we're good at, right? Like, we come to the airline and we sell. We take on all the risk. We do the dynamic pricing, so we do risk-based pricing. Not every offer will be priced the same, and the airline sees only an upside, right? So they can only see incremental profit from working with us. They have no way of losing money on like selling CFAR or disruption. And this is really key because selling fintech in a way that is widely available, consistently profitable, and adds real value to customers is really, really hard. And I don't think that many airlines are interested in taking on all that heavy lifting and become a fintech company, but they are interested in offering those new value props to increase customer satisfactions on their direct channels.
Okay, great. We are unfortunately out of time. I want to thank you both for sharing your experience with it. Congratulations on this great partnership.